Welcome to Career Ambitions, the podcast for corporate professionals who are ready to stop waiting and take control of their careers. If you're tired of sending applications into the void, wondering why you're not getting interviews, and watching opportunities go to people who are no more qualified than you're in the right place, my friends. I'm Joanne Sparrow, former HR director turned career coach, and I've spent more than 2 decades sitting on the other side of the hiring table. That means I know exactly what hiring managers think and what they say behind closed doors. Join me on this episode of Career Ambitions, where I'm pulling back the curtains on the hiring process and unapologetically exposing the truths job seekers are never told to give you the strategy and confidence to move your career forward and land your dream job or promotion. Hello and welcome back to Career Ambitions. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are talking about something that so many professionals experience, but not everyone talks openly enough about, and that is the Sunday Scaries. You know that feeling. It's Sunday afternoon or evening, the weekend is winding down, and maybe you're trying to relax, spend time with the family, or get organized for work, and then it starts creeping in. That tight feeling in your stomach, the racing thoughts, the dread, the irritation, the sense that your peace is slipping away because Monday morning is coming. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. So many talented, capable professionals feel this way, and it doesn't automatically mean you're weak, ungrateful, or doing something wrong. It usually means something in your work life needs attention. In today's episode, I want to help you understand what these feelings may be telling you and how to manage them in a healthy and practical way, and how to start creating a more positive experience for yourself, even if you are not in your ideal role right now. Let's dive in. The Sunday scaries are not just about disliking Mondays. They're often a sign that your mind and body are bracing for stress, and that stress can be coming from a number of things. A job that no longer feels aligned, a difficult micromanaging manager, lack of support or recognition, overwhelming workload, tension, burnout, boredom, feeling stuck, or simply knowing deep down that you're in a role that you've outgrown. And I want to say this first. Do not judge yourself for having these feelings. I want you to get curious about them. Your anxiety is not always the problem. Sometimes it is the signal. It may be telling you that something in your environment, your workload, your relationships at work, or your career direction needs to change. And that awareness can actually become very powerful. Because once you name what is causing you dread, you can begin to respond to it instead of just suffering through it. Not all Sunday anxiety means you need to quit your job immediately. Sometimes you're going through a particularly demanding season. Maybe there's a big project, a reorganization, it's a difficult quarter, or something personal is happening in your life that is affecting your energy. And other times, the Sunday scaries are more persistent. They have become your norm, and that is when it's important to pay attention. I want you to ask yourself, is this about one stressful week, or is it how I feel most weeks? Am I tired or am I emotionally drained by this role? And do I feel challenged in a healthy way or do I feel defeated? Is it the job itself, the people, the culture, or the way I'm responding to it? Have I outgrown the environment? These are important questions because when you identify the source, you can make better decisions. Let's talk about what to do when Sunday scaries show up. The first is to regulate yourself before you try to solve everything, because when anxiety is high, your thoughts can become more extreme. Everything feels bigger, heavier, and more permanent than it really is. You want to stop the spiral. So when you notice your mind jumping to worst case scenarios, I want you to pause. Instead of thinking, I can't do this again, this week's going to be awful, try saying to yourself, I'm feeling anxious right now. There are parts of this job that are hard for me. I do not need to solve my whole career tonight. That shift matters. A lot of professionals unintentionally make the Sunday scaries worse by turning Sunday into a pre work day, checking emails, mentally rehearsing meetings, trying to get ahead of everything, and carrying Monday around before it even arrives. It's important to give yourself boundaries. You are allowed to prepare without sacrificing your entire evening. So I encourage you to consider creating a calming Sunday ritual. And this can be super simple, going for a walk, a bath, a meal prep, journaling, a phone call with someone that's really grounding for you. The goal is to remind your nervous system that Sunday is still yours. You own that. Then I want you to write down what's actually worrying you. Sometimes anxiety feels huge because it's vague. Take a piece of paper out and ask, what exactly am I worried about tomorrow? Is it my manager, a team meeting, too many deadlines? When you name it, it becomes easier to manage. Now, let me say something important. Finding positive ways to look at your current situation does not mean pretending everything's fine. It does not mean gaslighting yourself. It means looking for what is still within your control, what you can learn, how you can support yourself while you plan your next move. Here are a few healthier ways to reframe your situation. This role may be funding your next chapter. Maybe this is not your forever job, and that's okay. Your current role may be providing income, stability, benefits, experience, or just some breathing room while you figure out what comes next. That does not make it meaningless. Even if the environment is not ideal, you may still be sharpening valuable skills: communication, stakeholder management, resilience, leadership. And sometimes the season you are in is truly preparing you for the role you actually want. And a job you do not love can teach you a lot. Trust me, I've been there. It can clarify what kind of manager you want, what kind of culture you need to thrive, what work truly energizes you, and what you no longer want to tolerate. That clarity is super useful, and you're not stuck, even if you feel stuck. This is one of the most important reminders. Feeling stuck and being stuck are not the same thing. You may not be ready to make a move tomorrow, but you can start creating momentum, and momentum changes how you feel. Now, let's talk about what you can do inside your current role to improve your day to day experience. Focus on your sphere of control. Ask yourself, what is within my control this week? Maybe it's how you prepare for meetings, or how you communicate or organize your day or set those boundaries. That question alone can reduce helplessness. One of the best ways to reduce dread is to build that momentum quickly. On Monday morning, choose one or two meaningful tasks you can complete early. Not busy work, not 10 random things, but real priorities to help move the dial. Small wins help restore confidence and calm. Do not wait for the workplace to become perfect before you allow yourself to feel better. Create your own anchors. And this might look like having a coffee with a colleague you enjoy, taking a proper lunch break, listening to something inspiring on your commute, using your calendar to block that focused time in your schedule, and celebrating progress instead of only noticing problems. A more positive environment is often built around small, repeated choices. Now, every workplace has negativity, complaining, gossip, tension, low morale. Be careful what energy you sit in too often. You do not have to absorb every frustration around you. You can be supportive without becoming consumed by it. Let's talk about improving your relationship with your manager. For many people, the Sunday scaries are not just about the job, they are about your direct manager. And having worked in HR leadership for many years, I can tell you this: the manager relationship has an enormous impact on how people feel at work. So, if your anxiety is connected to your manager, here are a few proactive things you can do. Get clearer on expectations. A lot of that workplace stress can come from ambiguity. And if you're unsure of what success looks like, what the priorities are, or how your manager wants updates, that certainly will create anxiety. So I want you to be proactive. Ask your manager, what are the top priorities this week? What does success look like on this project? How would you like me to keep you updated? And is there anything you would like me to do differently? Clarity reduces stress. I want you to learn your manager's style. This is called managing up. And not all managers are the same. Some want details, some want independence, some want frequent check ins, some are very direct, and some are less clear than they think they are. Part of navigating work well is understanding how your manager operates and adjusting where it makes sense without losing yourself. I want you to address issues early. If something is bothering you, do not wait until you're overwhelmed. A respectful, calm conversation early is often more effective than carrying resentment for months. This might sound like, I want to make sure I'm aligned with your expectations. Or, I've noticed that I'm struggling with the volume of last minute requests. Can we talk about how to prioritize? I want you to now be selfish and document your work and wins often. This is not about being defensive, it's about being smart. Keep track of your progress, contributions, and completed work. This is going to help you communicate with more confidence, advocate for yourself, prepare for your one on ones, remove self doubt, and protect yourself if expectations suddenly shift. When the real answer is something needs to change, sometimes that's the healthiest thing you can do is acknowledge that the Sunday scaries are a sign that your current role is no longer right for you. That's not a failure, that is information. The key is to not sit in dread without a plan. Even small actions can give you back a sense of power. You could take action by updating your resume, updating your LinkedIn profile, networking on the platform, make a list of companies that interest you, and start documenting your accomplishments. You do not have to leap, but you do need to listen. Listen to your instincts. If you've been feeling the Sunday scaries lately, I want to leave you with this. You're not lazy. You are not incapable. And if you're failing because your work feels hard right now, sometimes your body is reacting to an environment that is draining, misaligned, or no longer sustainable for you. And sometimes that first step is not a dramatic career move. Sometimes it is simply becoming honest with yourself. Honest about what is working, honest about what is not working, what you need more of, and what you're no longer willing to carry. That honesty is where change begins. So, if this episode resonated with you, take a moment today to ask yourself, what exactly is my work anxiety trying to tell me? And what is one small proactive step I can take this week to make things better? Maybe that step is simply protecting your Sunday evening. Perhaps it's having a conversation with your manager, updating your resume, and maybe it's reminding yourself that this season is not forever. Whatever it is, let it be a step toward feeling more in control, more supported, and more aligned in your career. Thank you so much for listening to Career Ambitions. If this episode helped you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who may be feeling the Sunday scaries too. And if you're ready to create a career that feels better than this, one that gives you more energy, confidence, and fulfillment, I would love to support you. Until next time, take care of yourself and take ownership of your career. Thank you so much for listening to Career Ambitions. If this episode gave you a new perspective, a practical takeaway, or even that little spark of confidence you needed, I would love for you to follow the show and leave a review. To celebrate the launch of Career Ambitions, I am running a special giveaway until May 30th, 2026. You could win 3 months of free coaching with yours truly, plus a pair of Apple earbuds. To enter, leave a review where you're listening today. Each review counts as an entry into a giveaway. The draw will be held on May 30th, and I cannot wait to celebrate one lucky listener with 3 months of career coaching to help them move forward with more clarity and confidence. Your next career move deserves a strategy. And if you're looking for more support, connect with me at Career Coach Joe on Instagram or joannesparrow.com to take your next step. See you in the next episode of Career Ambitions.